Today, we're going to dive into truth-telling. How to tell the truth in business and in life. We have an extraordinary way of avoiding, deflecting, numbing, suppressing, doing all sorts of extraordinary dance moves to deflect against the truth of what's here, the facts of your business, the facts of your financial reality, the facts of how you're feeling, the facts in your life. We have a natural self-protection system that kicks in when you get anywhere near something that might seem like pain. And we can also acknowledge that part and give thanks to the part of you that's trying to keep you safe, that's trying to keep you safe from harm. And yet the shadow of that is that sometimes the very thing within you that's trying to keep you safe is also avoiding pain, avoiding problems, avoiding conflict, avoiding challenges. And although that might bring you short-term relief, or there's a short-term gain, short-term pleasure seeking, there's a long-term pain, sometimes a slow and steady drip, 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 a leak that builds up over a long period of time, that creates damage that may not show itself right away. It may not be evident, right? If we think about a leak in your house, there could be a slow leak that you don't notice. We had this in our house. We had a leak that was going on in our bathroom. And it had been going on from the moment we'd moved into this house. And we didn't find the leak until we saw this huge stain in the room beneath it. And we worked, hard to try and fix it, but it wouldn't go away. It'd go through these little phases, and I would look at it. I'd look at this stain on the wall and start to see this stain become bigger and bigger. And at some point, the ceiling beneath the bathroom started to droop a little bit. And I was looking at it going, there is a leak. There is a leak somewhere. But because I like to see everything for its multi-layered purpose, it's like there's also another leak somewhere that I cannot see. It's like, where is the leak? Where is the source of the leak? And where is the leak that I cannot see, right? Where is the blind spot that's creating this problem? And by the time we were seeing the source of the leak, there'd already been a lot of water damage. Eventually, we had to pull out the whole bathroom to find it, and we had to repipe the whole thing, but it was expensive and it came at a cost, and we left it for way too long. So it was a big expense in not addressing the issue right away. But there was a metaphorical leak as well. There was something we didn't want to see, something we didn't want to acknowledge, something we didn't want to address. So I love this example of the leak, right, in the bathroom, because that's an obvious one. We see the source of the damage, but the source comes from somewhere else, and it's hidden behind the wall, in the pipes. And we need to go deep diving to find it, to get to the source of the leak, fix the source, right? And then repair the damage. And then we're back, we're back in working order again. Now, the same thing happens in all areas of our life, our business, our finances, health, home, relationship, sex life, children, etc. The problem that you're experiencing is the symptom. It's not the root, it is the symptom. of a deeper issue going on. But that deeper issue, or the root, we cannot see. There is a blind spot. It is in the shadow. It is in unconsciousness or lack of awareness. So in order to transform that surface symptom issue, so that could be inconsistent cash flow in your business. That could be problems happening with your team. That could be issues around sales or ineffective marketing, right? Or all sorts of things, right? There's a problem happening. And this work is about being that detective or being the plumber and going in and trying to figure out the source of the leak. Now, the first step to that is to tell the truth, to stop lying to yourself, to stop avoiding, buffering. The example of this with the leak would be just painting over the stain, which we did. Paint over the stain. Oh, I think it stopped. We're just going to paint over it. We sealed up the cracks. We painted over the stain. Then over time, a new stain appeared. Damn, the source of the leak, the source of the problem was not solved. This was a cycle we went through for many years. And now it sounds crazy and slightly embarrassing. But that's what we do. That's what we do. We put plasters on things, band-aids on things. We cover things up. We pretend they're not there. Somehow hoping and praying the problem will just go away until the problem builds and builds and builds and becomes disastrous or devastating or beyond repair. The long-term cost, the long-term problem and pain that comes from the slow drip, 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 drip that happens to that avoidance can cost you way, way more than addressing the issue now. So there's short-term gain for long-term pain that sometimes the cost is so big that it goes beyond repair. We are really seeing this on the planet with our climate crisis at the moment. Human beings really struggle to address problems until it's screaming at them in the face. It's part of our human tendency. But you are a leader, change maker, a path maker. We want to be on the front foot of that. So addressing our problems now means short-term pain. Maybe we have to make changes now that feel difficult or hard, feel like a loss. But we seal up the leak by facing it. And there's a longer term gain where then we have new solid foundations for growth moving forward. Sustainable. But the only way you can get to the root, to solve the problem, is to tell the truth around what is going on. To look at your present reality, to be honest about the problems, about what's not working, about what's not sustainable. Now, there was a time in my life where I could not handle that. I had a fragility, kind of emotional, mental fragility. It would completely overwhelm me. And so I developed tools and strategies to navigate through pain and problems. And these tools and techniques I developed through spiritual practices like meditation, etc., were how I navigated through pain and how I navigated through problems. And part of it was amazing. And part of some of these tools I share with you. But the double-edged sword of that is that there was also pain avoidance. So I call it spiritual bypassing, or we can use really great tools and techniques to uphold avoidance. I was the queen of that in my 20s. So we also have to hold the part of you that might feel fragile or overwhelmed by facing the truth, by looking at what's here. Because also our little fix-it problem solver self can get very stressed, very, very stressed. And it can be immensely overwhelmed or immensely frustrating or feel impossible. Or if you actually tell the truth about your life, it may seem impossible, like you're bashing your head against the brick wall. It's impossible, unmoving, unchanging. And what I found is, although on the surface level it may look that way, it's not necessarily the case. But the first step is to look at it, to stop lying, stop avoiding, tell the truth, which means acknowledge what is here. Acknowledge the problem, acknowledge the pain, acknowledge the leak. It's a kind of insanity when we do that, when we do all the avoiding. I grew up with this as well. I grew up around this, where it was just avoid, pretend, deny, where the denial becomes a type of insanity. And in that denial and avoidance, I experienced immense devastation. It was incredibly traumatic, with two parents that were unwilling to face the truth, to address the issues, until it completely blew up in the most devastating and destructive way. And because of that, that is the very pain that ignites and inspires this conversation I'm having with you. Why I'm so hardcore about it. Because we think we're doing the right thing and just avoiding, dodging, deflecting. Let's pretend everything's fine. I call that toxic positivity. And there's a place for that, right? There is nuance. Everything has a double-edged sword. There is positive and negative in all of it. Right? We also don't want to be taken down by the pain and problems and depression and anxiety and completely taken over by that either. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting honest. Now, I've also been the queen of avoidance and deflecting and get totally overwhelmed, like I said. So I've had to develop tools and skills to face issues, to lean in order to then alchemize and transform. So there is a way to do this really, really, really powerfully and beautifully. But the first step is to acknowledge the problem, to tell the truth, to face the facts. And there is information there. There's so much information there. It was very natural and normal. It's a natural and normal human response to want to blame, point the finger, make everyone or everything else the problem. And it may look that way. And you may even have lots of people agree with you. But this work is about radical self-responsibility, that wherever you go, there you are. You are the leader of your life. You are the leader of your business. You are the leader of your finances. And someone has got to lead. Someone has got to take the reins. So I invite you, right, to take that step, to be the leader. And maybe in some of your dynamics to go first. Obviously in your business, you are the leader. In your finances, you are the leader. And if you're not, you want to step into that leadership. And also in your life, in your relationships. But we have not been taught that. You have not been taught that. So this is really about a very powerful inner process of reconnecting to yourself, reclaiming yourself. And we start by looking at what is here. And that is going to look like mess. And that's going to look like pain. And that's going to look like impossible challenges. but it is the only way through. I call it the pain portal to prosperity. And we tend to learn how to tolerate things that aren't working as well. We just tolerate it. We adapt, we adjust, or we tolerate, and then we numb or switch off. Like that feels like an impossible problem to solve, so I'll just keep doing as I always do. But to me, it's like the elephant in the room. And it's very confusing to me when people do this. Like, are we going to talk about the elephant? Or are you going to keep pretending it's not there? Now, people can't even see that there's an elephant in the room. One of my superpowers is that I can see and feel the shadow, the unconscious, the blind spots. And so when we talk about money blocks, what's stopping you or blocking you from stepping into that next level of wealth creation? What's stopping you or blocking you from that business growth? What's stopping you or blocking you from expanding into that next level version of yourself? It will be something that you're avoiding in the present. So there's the external problem, and then there's the internal mirror reflection of that problem. The only thing you can control is yourself. The only thing that you can really change is yourself. And what I've found is when I'm brave and bold and willing to tell the truth and look at what's here and face the difficult, there's a short-term pain that can look like overwhelm or stress or frustration or anger or irritation or immense discomfort. But as I've learned to stay present with it, breathe with it, hold it. Say, hold yourself, hold your wealth. Regulate that nervous system. Use all the tools I teach you, which is tapping into that future wealth. You embody your wealth. Who are you becoming? Letting that future vision be your guide. Using where you want to inspire you, because where you want to be, like this is what you need to face next. If you want that, you need to face this. And that's the only way that inspires me to keep leaning into pain and keep leaning into discomfort, because of that future vision or future wealthy me is guiding me each step in the way. If you want that, this is the next obstacle you need to face. You want that external result? This is the next thing. Because we're building the path, you're building the path or building the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. And some of it you are building. Some of it is going to be a co-creation between yourself and others, loved ones, partner, team, colleagues, clients, etc. That is a co-creation. That is a co-creation. But some things you are going to need to do that heavy lifting for, to build that bridge. And there's a co-creation with source, the divine, universal energies, and nature. You're not alone. But there are some things that you are going to have to do and face and lead on. And you may not have the answers either. So the first step is to tell the truth. Stop lying to yourself and look at your present reality. If you want that future vision, what you want to manifest, what you want to create, you have to address the issues now. They are interconnected. Your pain is a portal to prosperity. Your pain is connected to your purpose, is connected to your power. They dance together. So, having said that, what do you need to tell the truth about? What do you need to stop lying to yourself and others perhaps about? What have you been pretending, deflecting, avoiding, not wanting to look at? I'd like you to meditate on this question or journal on this question. You know what it is. I'd like you to breathe with it. And this may be something that's lying in the shadows of shame in the shadows of pain. It could be a behavior that you're doing, something that you wouldn't want anyone to know. Classic ones: affairs, alcohol, drugs, porn, overeating, shadowy things going on behind the scenes. Right? So there may be some kind of behavior. Or problems going on behind the scenes in your life, your health, your relationships, your sex life, your children, your finances, your business, your team. And just keep breathing with it. And tell the truth about what is here. And this is getting on the ground. Because if you want to build your abundant, wealthy future, you want to build it on strong, solid foundations. And you cannot build on foundations of lies, of hiding, of avoidance. It's like rotten wood. Or trying to build something on sand. You cannot build a healthy future on rotting foundations. So this is why it's essential to tell the truth, to be honest and look at it, face it, see it, acknowledge it. And start with yourself, start with you, being honest with yourself, first and foremost. And just keep breathing. Keep breathing. And the step after that is to start to speak it, to share it. And who you share it with and how you share it is up to you. A trusted friend, loved one, therapist, colleague, consultant, coach, someone who can hold a safe space for you to be honest without shame or blame or judgment. And it may require you to have hard and difficult, uncomfortable conversations from that point to lead. And so that is a whole other skill in itself, communicating honestly and openly. And just start to bridge. Start to move things out of the shadows of shame, of hiding, and bring it into life so it can be seen and witnessed, held and heard. And as painful and as uncomfortable as that can be in the short term, it might be uncomfortable for a day, a week, a month, a few months, a year. When you can hold it and be with it, in time, solutions start to appear. Change will have to happen. And this is why I connect you to that future wealthy you, the vision, who you're embodying, to open up to possibilities. What is available? What is here? Holding the question, staying in the void, staying in the unknown, to start to problem solve. Solutions will appear. But you don't want to rush that either. We're going to hold it Be with it. But for today's conversation, the very first step is to tell the truth to yourself first and foremost. Be with that. From there, you want to bridge and share, speak it with a trusted person that can hold you in a place of non-judgment and safety, but will hold you accountable to actually addressing it and leaning in and working with it. And then after that, there's other steps of how to then move into the next stages of problem solving. So I'd like you to share what is here. What are you ready to tell the truth about? What do you need to tell the truth about? And remember, there is a cost to ignoring, avoiding, suppressing, hiding. The slow drip, drip, drip of the leak. That problem will just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, some people seem to miraculously get away with not addressing problems, which always astounds me. But what I see is people shut off a part of themselves for their relationships, for their business, for their finances. And here we do integrated wealth, heart, body, soul aligned wealth. We're not cutting off a leg for external results. All of you is here. All of you is in the game. So this is deep, powerful transformation work. Transformation work means telling the truth. And the truth from your point of view and perspective as you can see it now. Because truth is also something that is growing and evolving. Your truth is something that is a movable thing. So thank you. I honor your courage to tell the truth to yourself to begin with, to acknowledge what is here. As uncomfortable and difficult as it is an essential step to moving forward. It feels hard, it feels difficult, it feels overwhelming, it can feel impossible. And we keep breathing with it, holding a space for it, working with all the beautiful energies that we work with. Breathing life into it, the power of your presence. It's going to take you on a deep healing journey, transformational journey of growth and evolution. And by avoiding it, right, this is your money block. This is the block that's stopping you from getting the results that you want. So you have to think, am I willing to face the short-term pain of this problem to get the long-term gain? Or I'm going to choose short-term gain, avoidance, and experience long-term pain. Please make a conscious decision, eyes wide open. And whatever you choose is fine. Just know that you are making a choice. Make a conscious choice with as much information as you can. I hope you've got a lot of value from this conversation today, and I would love to hear from you. Please share your number one takeaway from today's conversation in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this level of conversation, please like this video. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel to receive my weekly trainings, masterclasses, meditations, and so much more every week on Wealthy Wednesdays. And I look forward to being with you again next time. And if you are ready to have a safe space to tell the truth, to face the facts of what is happening in your business, in your finances, in your life, understanding that this is the portal into prosperity. Telling the truth will allow you to transform your life and bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. I'd love to invite you to join myself and other big-hearted business owners and entrepreneurs here to be powerful leaders in the world, making waves in this world. Join us for the upcoming Living Abundance Wealth Retreat, my free online event where I take you through a powerful transformational step-by-step process to money manifestation mastery, conscious wealth creation, creating wealth in every area of your life. Please visit the link below and book your free place now. And I look forward to diving even deeper with you very soon.